Namaste. Have you ever practiced yoga and didn't know what to do in your twists and your shoulders are coming up? It's really uncomfortable and you're not able to breathe? Well, let me celebrate the yoga practice with you by giving you some tips that will help you to feel more in your body, joyful, relaxed, and able to breathe. So twists are really important in the yoga practice. Hi, I am Theresa, your yoga guide. And today's tip is really using the props that you have perhaps in the yoga studio that you're attending, or create your own yoga props. Make sure that you have as much as you need for your practice to be most optimal for you and your shape. So I love my bolsters, and you can have 2, you can have 4, you can have many bolsters as you want. And these are cotton filled, and they are like a king size pillow, literally. If you don't have the monies for a bolster or the ways of getting one of these bolsters, then you roll up a king size pillow, tie each end and the center, and that is your bolster. Fantastic. Also, you can use a bunch of stacked blankets. So today I'd like to offer that you use the bird's eye view here to watch and view this twist. I'm just going to face you forward, and just for instance, if I'm twisting my knees to perhaps the right, I want to be able to keep my left shoulder down. Does that make sense? So this twist right here, oh, lots of energy going on in the spine, and you want to keep the spine long as well. When we twist, we detox. We breathe fully into, it is, yes, restricted the abdominal area. And it's in that restriction that we elongate our spine and we breathe more fully, that we can wring out some of those stale, well, think of it as stale oxygen when you're not breathing fully, and or carbon dioxide that builds up. And literally that diaphragm, if we're not breathing fully, not into the chest, the collarbone, but into the belly, that's when all that stagnation begins. And it's the same when I turn my knees to the left, I want to be able to keep my right shoulder down. So I'm just facing you. We're going to do it laying down. Make sure you have all your props, because a lot of us do not have that range of motion yet to twist that fully. So for instance, if I'm going to lay myself down, and you can see that bird's eye view, hello bird's eye view, bringing my knees towards my chest, and then allowing those knees to exhale towards the right, using my bolster to support the outer shin and the dorsiflexion of my right foot and shin and knee, allowing my left shoulder to stay on the ground, opening up through my arms, and that's a twist. So the top leg can slide and move around, and if your knees are still really high, as long as the outer edge of your right foot is rooted, awesome. Yet, there are times where you will need perhaps more props. You could put a block underneath your bolster. You can stack blankets, and you can also place blankets between your knees. So again, I'm going to turn towards the right, seeing in the bird's eye view. And if that left knee is way up because that twist is a bit much for you in your side body, then prop yourself, bring the floor to you. That's the whole point. And opening up your heart towards the sky. In all yoga postures, we want to keep our heart open. We want to keep that heart open unless you're moving through like perhaps a rounded flexion of the spine in cat in the back, and you're doing the core belly. You really want to open up the chest in all other postures. So that gives you that space to breathe more fully into your lungs, keeping your neck nice and long, and there you have it. Now, there are some of you who don't need any of those props, and you're able to fully get move my stuff out of the way, your knees all the way down towards the floor, and allow that left shoulder tacks towards the floor. But if it's too much and you're not able to fully breathe and the twist is very edgy for you, oh, I just popped my spine, that was awesome, or cracked it, or whatever, released nitrogen in the joints. So right here, it's that twist, and you want to be able to feel there's a difference between doing an aggressive rajasic yoga practice and a tamasic, a restore and breath practice. So if you're fighting this position, then I would offer that you even just use a blanket underneath the knees and let your feet spoon each other. Oh, that feels better. I'm not fighting it now, and I can fully breathe
into my side ribs. So again, you want to keep both shoulders down. Arms can be expressed out below the shoulder. That is, unless you're doing something to open up the collarbone and the the upper back, the thoracic spine through the lats, maybe sometimes having your arms overhead, but that I believe it really does restrict in the throat. So if this is a restore breath practice, arms down by your side a little bit more so you can really focus on that internal the internal gaze, the inner breath, the inner self, the inner being, and really navigate that breath. So there you have it, keeping your shoulder blades down, because if your shoulder's doing one of those, that's not the twist. The twist is to get both shoulders down so you would truly support your legs over on that side, so that you have a successful twist. And that goes with anything that is, even in a standing twist. You want to accommodate yourself so that you could feel the lengthening of your spine and that twist. You want to broaden in your collarbone. So the collarbone, the chest stays open. And that's another episode. So stay tuned for each episode, the how-to, just a couple of minutes to just kind of check in with yourself and take that information and practice it while you're in your practice, because yoga is truly 99% practice and 1% theory. So join me on the mat for these wonderful episodes and tips of how to yoga. Also join me on Facebook for the yoga insight guidances, and also subscribe to the yoga practices at theresagaino.com so you can join me on the mat each day for meditation, core and breath, restore and breath, and a 45-minute practice at the click of a button in the comforts of your own home. It's that easy. We all could benefit from taking care of ourselves, exercising, which is the yoga practice, the mindfulness of movement and breath. I hope this helped you out. And again, you could share this and subscribe. Thank you, and namaste, and have a fabulous yoga day.